Yeah, hello, this is 4x4 Shop with the third continuation video here of the GL and GLS installation. Now, this is our supplied AMI adapter. Now, a lot of you may have AMI adapters that come with your vehicle already. For our unit, you have to use this identical adapter. It cannot be one with a USB. It cannot be one with an iPhone cable, or it cannot be one with an iPod or iPad adapter cable. It has to be a single female auxiliary adapter with your AMI slot. And like I said, the AMI slot slides right into the slot here. Sometimes it may sit the opposite direction. Yeah, sometimes it may sit the opposite direction, so just find the right orientation of it. Also, press on both sides of the adapter to make sure that it's seated properly, because it only uses 2 to 3 pins inside here. If it's not seated properly, you will not get sound. Now, again, like I said, you have to have a female 3.5 millimeter auxiliary input. Now, you can test the audio first once you've set up everything. Once you've ran the wires to the screen and you've plugged it in, test the audio to make sure you're getting sound. If you're getting sound with just this adapter plugged in, then you do not need to run the additional 3.5 millimeter jack to it, because some T-harnesses do have that wired into the T-harness. But it's not the actual T-harness, it's the radio. So if the radio doesn't have the input on it, it will not work. If it does, it will. Because sometimes this auxiliary input is actually going through the factory amplifier. And that's why the T-harness section doesn't recognize it, because the signal is not actually here. So to run it to the factory amplifier, you then have to make sure you plug this adapter in, and you will run it underneath the housing into the panel. You will remove the 2 screws at the bottom here, and then you will slide out the bracket here and run your wire from the inside. So once you remove the plastic at the bottom there's 2 Torx screws, and then these clips pushed in, this will slide straight up, and you'll be able to bring this back so you can run the wire from underneath the dash into here and plug it in. But like I said, test the audio to make sure that it's working first. So you can try it without this. If it does work without the 3.5 millimeter jack plugged in, then you do not need to run it. But most times you do. So you'll just have to plug it in, run it, and that's it. Will give you the sound. The fourth part, continuation of the actual infotainment system in the GL and GLS. Now, because the main T-harness is plugged into your radio, you will simply need to run it up into the screen housing, into the back of the original cavity area. Now, as I mentioned before, the unit does come with 2 USB adapters. Now, those USBs can be placed anywhere at the customer's request, but you may need to drop additional panels to get these USBs there. Now, for customers who want to have the USB inside their center console, that is why we offer the USB extenders on our website, and that will give you the additional length you need to run this wire underneath all the panels and into your armrest, to give you a more ease of comfort to utilize the USBs, because sometimes people do not want to put it inside their glove box, and some customers want it to be a more aesthetically pleasing install. So right now we're going to go over the sound settings. So right now you can actually test the unit for sound. So at the back of the unit you have your main power harness. This is where the power comes in. This plug here is for the LVDS and backup camera inputs. Now, we do offer a 360 camera depending on the configuration of the unit. That will also be on our website, or you can directly contact sales at 4x4 Shop to get that information there. Now, these 2 things will come off here. One will be for your Wi-Fi and one will be for your GPS. Now, they will be color coded on the rings to match the plug that they are going to be plugged into. And just make sure the two plugs are seated firmly into the back of the vehicle. Now again, make sure you plug back your airbag plug into the side of the radio. And if you've noticed below, I've put a towel down to protect the interior of the dash and the actual center console trims of getting scratched. And I use a towel because it covers a very wide surface area versus sometimes one of those small little cloths that you might try to use. A towel is more ideal. They're a lot thicker. This is the unit booting up. Just resting it there to give you a better perspective of the unit. Now, if you come into the vehicle and you notice, yes, hello. Now, first thing you're going to want to notice and check for is those A and B adapter plugs on our harnesses. The way to tell if those are functioning right, first thing you'll notice here is that the iDrive knob will work on the Android side. Now, a lot of customers will see this on the screen and say that the vehicle is not working or the display is not working. The reason why right now, the actual display is off. If you see the time here, it doesn't mean that you're not getting a display. It just means the actual car's radio has been turned off. So right now, you notice the iDrive knob is working and you are able to make your selections. This confirms that the CAN harnesses on the main T harness are working. Those were the plugs with the A and AB and then B and B adapters. This is the confirmation that those plugs are working, that your iDrive knob and everything is still functioning. Now, take into consideration another mistake customers make is that this original graphic display on the Mercedes is going to be touchscreen. It is not touchscreen. I repeat again, it is not touchscreen. Your original Mercedes features will only be able to be controlled with your iDrive knob. You will not be able to touch any of these input selections here and get them. The touchscreen is only for the Android system side of the vehicle. Now I'm going to go and show you audio. And now if you notice here, you have the auxiliary jack. I'm going to plug out the MMI adapter. And we're going to go to the Android side. And now we are playing music and we are not getting any sound. So I'm going to now plug back in the MMI slot adapter. And if you notice, instantaneously you get the sound. Now also I'm going to demonstrate. I'm going to remove the 3.5 millimeter headphones jack. If you notice, the sound goes away. So this is your test if you need to run this cable. I'm going to now insert the 3.5 millimeter headphones jack. And instantaneously, your sound comes back again. This is your indication that you have to run this auxiliary cable to get the sound from our unit. Okay, now we're going to go through the steps on how to set up your camera resolution from original or aftermarket. Now also there is a step here that will allow you to set up the screen resolution. Now this vehicle here already had the screen resolution preset, so everything is fine there. So what you're going to do, is if you're on the home page, you're going to touch the screen, slide over until you get to apps. Then you're going to go to NTG setup. Now in the general settings section here, you will see your rear camera type. This vehicle does come with original rear camera, so you will select original rear camera. Now you will hit the back button. You will hold down the general settings until these hidden windows appear. Right now they've already been selected, so they're appearing already. But if you just come into the car, you'll see general settings and you'll see automatic brake. You have to then hold down the line of general settings for about 15 to 20 seconds. Then the hidden menus will appear. Then you're going to hit factory head unit parameters. Now, please do not change the settings in this section. Please leave the resolution, the LVDS type, and all the other system settings the way that they are. The reason for that is you can definitely hamper the functionality of the unit if you change these main system settings here. The only thing you want to adjust is resolution adjustment. Now, if you notice right here, it says successful. That means that the LVDS cable is plugged in correctly. If it does not say successful, that means you have to check your LVDS cable. Once you say and you confirm that it says successful, you hit confirm. That will then reboot the system and load the original screen's resolution. So right now it's already set, so I'll still go through the process. So you confirm. It's going to reboot the system and let it start over while it adjusts the correct LVDS settings. Now again, you have to make sure that that box in that menu there says successful at the top of its selection. If it does not say that, that means your LVDS original screen cable is either not plugged in at the radio end or to the screen plug. So you have to double check those there. Now we're just going to check the original resolution. So to get back to your original OEM system, you can hit NTG menu, or you can hold down the back button for a couple seconds and that will switch you back to the original menu selection here. Now we're also going to show you, if you notice right now, the screen is only showing half screen with the box with your door opening at the left hand side there. So we're going to touch the screen, go back into apps, go back into NTG settings, and now you will see the two hidden menus has popped up. So again, I'm going to show you how to get the hidden menus up. You will hold it down and then the hidden menus will appear. Right now, we're not going to be using that because we're just going to show something else. At the bottom of the screen, it says original car display full screen. We're going to check that, hit the back button, hit the home button, and then we're going to go to NTG mode, and now it's going to show you full screen. But that full screen will be stretched out because of the fact that the screen is elongated and it is a lot larger size screen than your original screen. But if you look at it, the resolution is more than fine and more than satisfactory to be using on an everyday basis like this.